A very good morning and Jai Hind children. Welcome back to your chemistry class. Children, we have started a chapter coal and petroleum and we have done almost half of the chapter and of the important part of the chapter has been covered. Alright, so we were on the topic called fossil fuel. We were studying fossil fuels. So let's recall it once and then we'll go to the next topic. Alright, so what is fossil fuel basically? So why it is given the term fossil fuel? Because fossil means very primitive. The things that we are getting it from the dead and decayed organism that is buried inside the soil for million and million of years, that is called fossil. Alright, and why it is called fuel? Because it is giving us energy and allowing us to work with that energy. Alright, that is why it is called fossil fuel. So there are three basic types of fossil fuels. We have coal, petroleum and natural gas. Alright. Coal is obtained from the dead and decay parts of plants and animals. Alright. Basically it is obtained from plants, the wood part of the plant. Alright. When it is buried inside the soil for millions and millions of years ago, and with the help of heat and pressure, it is the wood is converted into a carbon content of black color, that is coal. Alright. Then we have studied that there are 3 or 4 different types of coal. We have anthracite, we have bituminous, we have lignite, we have subbituminous. Alright, depending on the percentage of carbon. Then we have studied about petroleum and refining of petroleum. Alright, so petroleum was another fossil fuel that was obtained from the dead and decay animals that are buried under the ocean or sea. Basically we are talking about aquatic lives. Alright, so when aquatic animals are buried inside the soil with the help of heat and pressure, they are converted into the gaseous and a liquid content. So the gaseous content that is obtained is a natural gas and the liquid that is obtained is petroleum. Alright, so we have seen all these things. So you have studied that also and I hope all your doubts are clear. Okay, if not, we'll again do the revision in this Zoom live classes, and in that Zoom revisional class you can ask your doubts. Alright, so in fossil fuel we have studied about coal, we have studied about petroleum. Alright, so today we'll start with natural gas, and apart from that we are left with 3 or more topics, that is energy crisis and conservation of fossil fuel and the new technologies. Alright, so we'll continue with all these topics. So let's start with the today's topic, that is natural gas. Okay, so what is natural gas, how they are obtained and why they are so important nowadays, this we are going to study. Okay, so children, please open your book, open your science book, open page number 73. It is on page number 73, so be ready with your science book and pencil. Alright, so I hope everybody is ready. So I am now going to share the screen and let's see how natural gases are obtained. So we have already seen it earlier, how petroleum is obtained. In the same way natural gases are also formed in the same procedure. So I'll just show you how they are formed. So children, we have seen this diagram earlier also, that there is a reservoir of rock. We have an impervious rock, we have a reservoir rock at the bottom. The water is there, and due to the pressure and heat, the aquatic life that is buried inside this impervious rock and soil are converted into oil and gases. So can you see here, oil and gases. So the oil that is obtained is petroleum and the gas that is obtained is natural gas. Alright, why it is called natural gas? Again, because these are obtained from the living organism. Alright, be it coal, be it petroleum, be it natural gas, all the fossil fuel contains hydrocarbon. So I hope now you are pretty much sure about hydrocarbon. So all the fossil fuel, the main constituent of the fossil fuel is hydrocarbon. What is hydrocarbon? Hydrogen and carbon, like methane. The formula of methane is CH4. Alright, the formula of methane is CH4. So because it is containing C, that is carbon, and H, that is hydrogen, so the main constituent of any type of natural gas is hydrocarbon. So now today we will talk about natural gas. Okay, so what is natural gas and how they are obtained and why it is very important. Okay, so please open the book, please open page number 73. Let's go to the chapter. Okay, coming on to the natural gas. Okay, natural gas is found along with petroleum in the reservoir under the ground. That the figure that I have shown you, जैसे पेट्रोलियम बनता है वैसे ही नेचुरल गैस मिलता है. Clear? It is chiefly made up of methane. What is methane, children? Methane is CH. Just a moment. Methane is CH4. Alright. So C stands for carbon, H stands for hydrogen, and the formula of methane is CH4. Alright, so that is why we say that all the hydrocarbons consist, like all the fossil fuel consist of hydrocarbons. So the main constituent in natural gas is methane. This you should remember. The main constituent of natural gas is methane. Though we have butane and propane also. What is butane? But means 4. Alright. Prop means 3. Alright. So let's see. We have meth, eth, but, prep, like this. Depending on the number of carbons, the name is changed. So methane contains 1 carbon. That is CH4. Then we have butane and we have propane. Alright. So meth, eth, prop, but. It is like that. So meth contains 1 carbon. Eth contains 2 carbons. So this you will study when you go in the higher classes. Prop contains, like propane contains 3 carbon and butane contains 4 carbon. So the formula of butane will be C4H8. Alright, we have C4H8. Similarly, there will be propane, it will be C3H6. Alright, so depending on the number of carbons, these things are present. Alright, so we have methane, we have butane, we have propane. Okay, but among these the main constituent we have is of methane. Clear? So that was about natural gas, but you can see here everything is containing carbon and hydrogen, so they are hydrocarbons. Alright. Butane and propane are also present in a small proportion. It can be easily transported through pipes and is a clean, non-polluting fuel. Children, nowadays we are shifting towards the natural gas. We are shifting towards the compressed natural gas, that is CNG. This is the only reason why we are shifting towards the compressed natural gas. Why? Because it does not contain any pollution. It is non-polluting fuel. Okay. Now why it is called non-polluting fuel is because It is basically, first thing, it is obtained from natural resource. Alright, there is no further refining of or further processing of these natural gas. We don't add anything to the natural gas, so it is coming directly from the source. Alright, this is the one reason. Second reason is because it is containing hydrogen and carbon and hydrogen, it gets by the process of combustion, it gets converted completely into carbon dioxide. Alright, so it is considered as a non-polluting fuel. It is stored under high pressure. It is stored under high pressure. और जब हम किसी चीज पे प्रेशर लगाते हैं तो उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? कंप्रेस्ड. कंप्रेस्ड का मतलब दब जाना. Alright, so it is called compressed natural gas. So generally the natural gas that we use in our day-to-day life is compressed natural gas. Alright, now why this compressed natural gas is important? CNG is used for power generation. Okay, in a small part of India such as Vadodara, CNG is supplied to home and factories through pipes and directly used as a fuel. So CNG is directly, like here we use LPG. Alright, but in the various cities the CNG is used in the homes and in the factories. Alright, so in home and factories CNG is used through the pipes and directly used as a fuel. Okay, so CNG is also now being used as a non-polluting fuel for vehicles, and even now in the vehicles, so apart from petrol and diesel, the in generally these public transport are using CNG as a fuel. So I hope you are aware of it. आप कभी भी बाहर निकलिए तो आप ऑटो या रिक्शा किसी में भी जाते हैं तो आजकल ये लोग पेट्रोल और डीजल ना यूज करके सीएनजी यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, फर्स्ट थिंग बिकॉज इट इज अ बिट चीपर एंड सेकंड it does not cause pollution. Alright, so CNG is now being used as a non-polluting fuel for vehicle. Even the government has recommended to use CNGs rather than using the petrol and diesel. Alright, so this is CNG. Now natural gas is used as a starting material for the manufacture of new chemicals and fertilizers. Even to make new chemicals and fertilizers, natural gases are used. Okay, so these are the some uses of compressed natural gas, and that is why this compressed natural gas is important. Okay, deposits of natural gas are found in India, in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and in the Krishna Godavari Delta. So in India it is obtained in it is present in Tripura, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Krishna Godavari Delta. Alright, so that was something about natural gas. So first very important thing, it is obtained in the same way as petroleum. Second, the main constituent of natural gas is methane. It contains butane and propane in a small amount. It is present in a compressed form called compressed natural gas, and these are the uses of CNGs. Alright, so that was about a natural gas. Clear? Now coming on to next topic, that is energy and technological development. Children, nowadays as we know that our country, or take any part of any country, is slowly and gradually developing, isn't it? So we as an India as a country is also progressing, it is also developing. Okay, and as we are developing, we are entering into a new technologies, isn't it? We are entering into new technologies, like we have advanced mobiles, we have advanced gadgets. we have advanced and new technological laptops and whatnot. Like now our country has developed it technologically so well that these technologies require energy. Alright, take mobile. To charge you require energy. Take laptop, you require energy to charge it. Alright, similarly different gadgets that you have, that also requires energy. Alright, you require it to charge it after 24 hours or after 28 or 48 hours. You keep on charging it, and the charging of that gadgets and products requires energy. Alright, and second thing, as the population is continuously and drastically increasing, जैसे जैसे population बढ़ रही है वैसे वैसे टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज भी बढ़ रहा है. जितने लोग कंसिडर, अगर आपके घर में 5 लोग हैं, ठीक है, सो एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज हैविंग अ मोबाइल. ऑलराइट, एंड किसी के पास एक मोबाइल है, किसी के पास 2 मोबाइल भी हो सकता है. ठीक, अब उस मोबाइल को चार्ज करने के लिए हमें एनर्जी चाहिए. हम उसको प्लग इन करते हैं, वी स्विच ऑन द लाइट एंड वी चार्ज इट. तो जितने मोबाइल्स घर में उतनी एनर्जी कंज्यूम की गई. ऑलराइट, like to sustain our style or to maintain our style, we also require this ACs and refrigerators and whatnot. Alright, we require so many electricity. So everything is requiring energy. Alright, and we are developing these days. So let's see what is written in this topic. So this topic is a very general topic. So let's see what is written. Our energy needs have been increasing at a tremendous pace due to 2 main reasons. One is the increase in population, and the other more important reason is that as we progress and develop new technologies, we need more energy. So this we have talked about. जैसे जैसे पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज हो रही है वैसे वैसे उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट, उसकी क्वांटिटी इंक्रीज होगी, एंड दिस रिक्वायर्स एनर्जी. ऑलराइट, एंड ऑल्सो एज वी आर नाउ शिफ्टेड टू एन ऑनलाइन क्लास, तो आप लोगों में से बहुत लोगों ने लैपटॉप परचेज किया होगा. तो व्हाट इज देयर, लाइक जितने लैपटॉप्स परचेज किया आपको उसके लिए भी एनर्जी चाहिए. सो this laptop is what? It is a new development, new technology. Alright, so this was about the energy and technological development. So let's see what is written. So the other more important reason is that as we progress and develop new technologies, we need more energy to run new factories and to power the new gadgets made by use of the new technologies. For example, आपने नए लैपटॉप परचेज किए, आपने, अब हम ऑनलाइन क्लास पे शिफ्ट हो रहे हैं तो हमने नए नए लैपटॉप्स परचेज किए, किसी ने मोबाइल परचेज किया, वॉट एवर. ऑलराइट, अब क्या हुआ कि लैपटॉप, कंप्यूटर्स और मोबाइल की डिमांड इंक्रीज हो गई, इजंट इट? तो जब इसकी डिमांड इंक्रीज हुई तो जो कंपनीज इसको बना रही हैं उनकी भी डिमांड इंक्रीज हुई. ठीक है, वो और ज़्यादा लैपटॉप बनाएंगे, वो और ज़्यादा कंप्यूटर्स बनाएंगे, वो और ज़्यादा मोबाइल्स बनाएंगे. ठीक, और जब कोई चीज़ ज़्यादा बन रही है तो उसके लिए उतनी ज़्यादा एनर्जी यूज होगी. क्लियर? सो दिस इज द सेम थिंग इज रिटन हियर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, the tremendous development in the field of computers in the last few years has meant that computers are now widely used in factories, offices, shops and homes. Manufacturing and using these billions of computers uses up huge amount of electrical energy. So it is using a huge amount of electrical energy. So this you are aware of. Alright. So apart from this computer industry, we have several more industries which require or which consumes the energy in a large amount. Like we have manufacturing goods in factories, uses up huge amount of industries. गुड्स को जो भी मैन्युफैक्चर कर रहे हैं फैक्ट्रीज, उसको एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट है. एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में हैंड पंप चलाने के लिए, ट्यूबवेल्स चलाने के लिए, ट्रैक्टर्स चलाने के लिए, डिफरेंट मशीन्स चलाने के लिए भी एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है. ऑलराइट. फूड प्रोसेसिंग एंड स्टोरेज ऑफ फूड इन कोल्ड स्टोरेज हाउसेज यूज अप ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी. सो टू प्रिजर्व द फूड हम क्या करते हैं, उसको कोल्ड टेम्परेचर पे रखते हैं. ठीक है. दैट रिक्वायर्स एनर्जी. जैसे हमारे यहाँ कोई भी फ्रूट्स या वेजिटेबल्स कुछ भी आते हैं, सो वी कीप इट इन द रेफ्रिजरेटर. ऑलराइट. सिमिलरली देयर आर फैक्ट्रीज जो कि इन वेजिटेबल्स और फ्रूट्स को स्टोर करते हैं. सो दे रिक्वायर मोर एनर्जी. They require to maintain the temperature and they require more energy. Alright. Now means of transportation requires large amount of energy in the form of fuels and electricity. Like transportation also requires energy. It is not necessary that energy is in the form of electricity only. It can be in the form of fuel. Alright. Fuel is also a type of energy. Petrol, diesel, coal, they are also a fuel and it gives us energy. So it is not necessary that I am here talking about electrical energy only. Okay. So means of transport requires a large amount of energy like petrol, diesel, kerosene, all these things are required in the transportation. Alright. We use much more energy at homes today due to increased number of electrical gadgets such as refrigerators, air conditioners, washing machine, etc. Mobile, laptops, whatnot. So we have, as we have progressed, as we have developed, we require more electrical energy. Okay. So that was about few industries which consume a large amount of energy. Okay. Electricity is the major source of energy today. The use of electricity has shown a tremendous surge in the past few decades. However, the electrical energy is not a natural source of energy and, as we have seen in this chapter, is produced in many ways, both by conventional and by non-conventional methods. Like we have seen, electricity can be generated by coal in thermal power plants. Okay. But electricity can also be generated by solar energy, by wind energy, by tidal energy. So the energy can also be produced by non-conventional methods. So this tidal energy, solar energy, wind energy is a non-conventional method of energy production. Okay. Setting up new generation plants is very expensive and time consuming. Okay. In India today, the supply of electrical energy is far lower than our requirement. Even today, in villages and in town area, the electricity is not sufficient, is not present in sufficient amount. There is a time slot for electricity to come and go, and I hope most of you know about it that कुछ घंटों के लिए लाइट होती है, फिर कट जाती है, फिर लाइट होती है, फिर कट जाती है. So 24 hours electricity supply is not there even today in the villages and towns. Okay. So India is still lacking behind in this electricity consumption. Even in Banaras also, like when you, if you ask your mother or any elder at your home, before just 5 to 6 years, the same condition was there in Banaras also, because now you are getting almost 24 hours electricity. But in Banaras also, like before 5 years to 6 years, the condition of electricity was very poor. ओके. एक टाइम स्लॉट था कि दोपहर में लाइट नहीं रहेगी, इतने घंटे लाइट नहीं रहेगी, इतने घंटे लाइट रहेगी. सो यू कैन आस्क योर एल्डर, इट वाज द सिचुएशन, एंड दिस सिचुएशन इज स्टिल परसिस्ट इन विलेजेस एंड टाउन. ओके. So we should work over it. Okay. So our industrial production suffers as factories cannot run full time. Shortage of electricity also limits the use of new technologies. जहाँ पे लाइट नहीं होगी वहाँ पे लैपटॉप हम प्रॉपरली नहीं यूज़ कर सकते, वहाँ हम कंप्यूटर प्रॉपरली नहीं यूज़ कर सकते, फैक्ट्रीज में मशीन नहीं चल सकती प्रॉपरली, हॉस्पिटल्स में अगर हम कोई काम चल रहा है हॉस्पिटल में, एनी सर्जरी और एनीथिंग, and electricity just goes off, so they are also not, they are suffering from this loss of electricity. So what we can do to prevent electricity, that is the major concern today. Okay, so we have talked about the uses of technologies and consumption of energy in various fields today. Okay, so now children, I know this topic is a bit boring. It is a very theoretical topic. I cannot do anything with this, but you have to bear it. So this is something like energy is consumed in a large amount, in a large quantity as we are progressing, and the technology is progressing day by day. Okay, so the major concern is कि क्या ये इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो विलेजेस में नहीं आ रही है, क्या जो इसका प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है वो प्रॉपरली हो रहा है, क्या हम एनर्जी वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, कहीं पे एनर्जी है ही नहीं, कहीं पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है ही नहीं, और जहाँ पे है वहाँ पे हम उसका वेस्टेज कर रहे हैं, वहाँ हम उसको वेस्ट कर रहे हैं. हाउ? हम क्या करते हैं, फैन को ऑन करके चले जाते हैं, लाइट ऑन करके चले जाते हैं, रूम में कोई नहीं है, इट इज़ नॉट इन यूज. एसी, refrigerator, it is on but it is not in use. So what we have to do is we have to consume it. All right, we have to do it, we have to use the electricity very effectively. So let's see what we can do to prevent the energy crisis. So what is energy crisis? Crisis means lack of energy. Okay, so now we'll see how we can prevent the energy crisis. Okay, so let's go to it again. Children, because this is a theoretical topic, I am just reading it with from your book so that you can understand it better. So preventing energy crisis, हम कैसे prevent कर सकते हैं? So there are basically two steps. First step is first we should use it judicially. What is using it judicially means? Judicious use of energy implies that we do not waste energy, first thing, and that we use energy efficiently. दो ही प्रोसेस है जिससे हम एनर्जी क्राइसिस को रोक सकते हैं. फर्स्ट इज वी शुड नॉट वेस्ट एनर्जी, एंड सेकेंड वी शुड यूज इट वेरी इफेक्टिवली. ओके, नॉट वेस्टिंग एनर्जी, इसका क्या मतलब हुआ? स्विचिंग ऑफ लाइट्स, फैंस एक्सेट्रा व्हेन नॉट इन यूज. यूजिंग एयर कूलर्स, एयर कंडीशंस, रूम हीटर, गीजर ओनली व्हेन नीडेड. हमको एसी, एयर कंडीशंस, कूलर और हीटर्स तभी यूज करना चाहिए जब उसका हमें यूज हो. ओके, एंड वी कैन कंज्यूम दिस fossil fuel energy by reducing the flame while cooking, and when जब खाना हमारा हो जाए, पूरा बन जाए, when the food is cooked completely, we should just switch off the flame. All right, so this is by this we can conserve few amount of energy by not wasting it, and second by using it very effectively. Like rather than using bulbs, because bulb is consuming a lot of energy, we can switch to CFLs and tube lights, or even we can switch to LEDs. Okay, why? Because CFLs have a toxic mercury in them which LEDs do not have. We can switch to LEDs and CFLs and tube lights rather than bulbs. Okay, यूजिंग पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट इंस्टेड ऑफ प्राइवेट. कभी कभी क्या होता है, आप घरों में देखिए, जितने लोग हैं उतनी बाइक्स हैं, जितने लोग हैं उतने कार हैं. ओके, सो जितनी आपके घर में कार, जितनी आपके घर में बाइक्स हैं, उतना ज़्यादा आप फ्यूल कंज्यूम करेंगे. Clear? So what we should do is, we should, rather than using our private vehicles, okay fine, it will make the life easier, but rather than using the private vehicle, we should switch to a public transport. Okay, or we should maximum time we should walk. अगर कोई वॉकिंग डिस्टेंस है तो आप वॉक करके भी जा सकते हैं, इट विल कीप यू हेल्दी. और वी कैन स्विच टू साइकिलिंग. अगर कोई थोड़ी दूर का डिस्टेंस है, यूज साइकिल टू गो. ओके, cycle is not polluting, it does not require any fuel, nothing. Okay, and it will keep you healthy also. Okay, it is a type of exercise. So we should use public vehicles. Now using pressure cooker for cooking. Okay, using efficient चूल्हास, कुछ गैस और चूल्हास ऐसे होते हैं जिनमें बहुत ज़्यादा स्मोक निकलता है, and it is not good to use it. So we should switch to an smokeless chulhas in houses instead of kerosene, coal or wood for cooking. Okay, they are also consuming a large amount of energy. Reducing cooking time by soaking pulses. आप दाल को, चावल को पहले से भिगो के रख दीजिए, उसके बाद आप उसको कुक करिए, so it will consume less amount of energy. So these are few ways through which we can prevent the energy crisis. Judicial use of energy has two main advantages. It will delay the energy crisis and it will give our scientists more time to develop more efficient alternate energy. हाँ, हम इस judicial use से एकदम energy crisis खत्म नहीं कर सकते हैं, पर हाँ हम we can delay it all. Okay, we can delay the energy crisis. हो सकता है जो 10 साल में energy खत्म होने वाली हो, हम उसको 20 साल या 25 साल तक कर दें. By this methods, okay, by these methods we can do it. All right, so we should follow it, like this preventing energy crisis, this judicial methods, we should follow it. All right, so to preserve the energy so that our future generation, जो हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन है, वो भी इस चीज़ का एडवांटेज उठा सकें. लाइक पहले के समय में अगर आप देखिए तो वी यूज्ड टू स्टडी इन lamps and batteries and lamps में हम पढ़ते थे, but nowadays you are having an advantage of electricity. Okay, you go and ask your grandparents, so they will also tell you it was so difficult to study that time due to the energy crisis. So that is like we are responsible, like we should take the responsibility of preventing the energy crisis. All right, so we are left with one topic, that is conservation of fossil fuel. So children, tomorrow we'll study this topic, conservation of fossil fuel, and we'll do the oral question answer 1 and oral question answer 2. Alright, so that was about today's class, that was about the today's topic. So we have done natural gases, we have done energy crisis and a technological development. So these were the topics that we have covered today. We are left with only one topic in this chapter, that is conservation of fossil fuel. Then we will do the oral question 1 and 2. Then we will switch to short answer type 1, type 2, oral long answer questions and HOTS question. Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you and Jai Hind children.